Hey kids, it's Pastor Phillip from Hartford City Church, and I wanted to give you a special children's church video message. I know that a lot of us miss being able to have children's church on Sunday mornings together with everyone, but I wanted to put this video together so that you could have a special children's church in your own home, maybe with your mom or your dad or someone else. And you can do it on Sunday morning to watch this video, but you could also do it anytime during the week you want. So today is a special day, and I want to begin by showing you something that I have that I really, really like, and I think it's cool. Here, come take a look.
So one of my hobbies since when I was a kid is collecting coins. I love to collect all kinds of coins. My dad was into coin collecting, and he kind of got me into it, and I really enjoyed it my whole life. And I have a lot of coins now from both our country and all over the world. So I wanted to show you a couple of coins that I have. This coin here is from the Comoros Islands in Africa. It's right near Madagascar, and you can see it has a picture of a boat and a fish on it. And it says 100 francs because they used to be a colony of France, but now they're independent. And then you see the language there is Arabic because they're a Muslim country. That's actually a country that I was able to visit. This coin right here is from another country that I visit a lot, and this is the president, President Daniel, can we read that? What does it say? Torok? I can't read his name. Anyhow, it's from the Republic of Kenya in Africa, which we also went to, 20 shillings. Now it says shillings because they used to be an English colony, so that's their money, and that's their president who puts his picture on there. And then I know you were looking at this one. Isn't this weird? A square coin? Whoever knew of such a thing? It's actually from Aruba. I've never been there, but someone brought it back to me. Oh, look, 1954, I think. Wow. So square coin, that's kind of different, isn't it? Now, here are some American coins. And you might be thinking, really? American coins? Look at this one. Doesn't look like an American coin, right? That is a penny. Can you believe it? It's a penny from way, way back in 1848. And I think that's like Lady Liberty on there. Look, 1 cent, United States of America. Wow, look at it. Look how big it is. It's like as big as a quarter, maybe a little bigger. Wow. And of course, we have this gold one. You ever seen a gold American coin? That's Sacagawea from the Native Nations. And this came out a while ago, and it's worth $1. We normally don't see a dollar coin, do we? But here on the back, you see it says $1. $1. So that's kind of cool. I like to keep that American gold $1 coin. And then this, of course, is a quarter, which we all kind of know and recognize. But whose picture is on the quarter? Does anybody know? Does anybody know from school? That's right. It's our first president, George Washington. So we put the picture of our leader on our coin, and we stamp it with United States of America to show that this quarter belongs to the government. And the United States government is the one who determines how much this coin is worth, right? So the government, Washington, says this quarter is worth 25 cents, and therefore it is worth 25 cents because they have the authority to give the coin value because our name is on it and the picture of our leader, well, our first leader, is on it, the President of the United States. So I want to tell you a story from the Bible today about Jesus and coins.
Okay, so let me tell you the story. Back when Jesus lived on the earth, he lived in a nation called Israel, and all the people who lived there were the Israelites. But during the time that Jesus lived, there was another country, and this country was the Empire of Rome, and the people were called Romans. They came and they conquered Israel. They took them over, and they said, we're going to tell you what to do. And the Israelites didn't like that. It would be like some of you, when somebody other than your parents tells you what to do, sometimes you don't like it, right? In fact, you might have even said to someone, hey, you're not my mom. You're not my dad. You can't tell me what to do. So a lot of Israelites, they felt like these Romans, they're not us. They're not supposed to tell us what to do. And so they were upset. They were angry. They felt like they wanted their own leaders, their own rulers, their own kings and queens to rule over them. So at the time of Jesus, there were some other Israelites, some other teachers, and they were jealous of Jesus because Jesus was really popular with the people, and they didn't like that so much. So they were always trying to trick Jesus, always trying to trap him into something, okay? So I'm going to read you a story from Matthew chapter 17. Excuse me, not Matthew 17, Matthew 22, beginning in verse 15. Matthew 22:15. So listen to what happened. So that's when the Pharisees, those people that were jealous of Jesus, they plotted a way to trap Jesus into saying something damaging. They sent their disciples to ask him, "Teacher, we know you have integrity. You teach the way of God. You don't care about what other people think. So tell us honestly, is it right to pay the imperial tax to Caesar or not?" But Jesus knew they were up to no good. He said, "Why are you playing games with me? Why are you trying to trap me?" You see, they were trying to trap him because the Romans, to prove that they were really in charge, they printed a special coin or money. And they put their leader on it, Caesar. He was like their king. And they put their name on it. And they said, because you're not Romans, you have to pay this special imperial tax. And just to prove that you belong to us and that we're the ones who have authority over your lives. And so obviously, for an Israelite, it was kind of like, what do I do? You know, so the Pharisees who wanted to trick Jesus, they knew this. They knew that if he said, yeah, pay the tax, the imperial tax to Caesar, they knew that the Israelites would get mad. They'd be like, why? We don't belong to Rome. We don't want to pay their money. That's not right. But they knew, on the other hand, if Jesus said, no, don't pay the taxes, then the other group, the Romans, would come and they would get mad. And they're like, we're ruling over you and you have to pay us this money. So they were trying to trap Jesus. You see how tricky they were? They knew whichever way he answered, he'd get one group mad or he'd get the other group mad. So they came to him and they said, Jesus, tell us, we know you always tell us the truth. You know, should we pay this imperial tax to Caesar or not pay it to Caesar? But Jesus knew they were up to no good. Jesus knows everything. And he said, why are you playing games with me? Why are you trying to trap me? Do you have a coin? Let me see it. And they handed him a silver piece. This engraving, who does it look like? Whose name is on here? And they said, Caesar. Then give to Caesar what is his, and give to God what is his. And the Pharisees were speechless, and they went off shaking their heads. Do you see what Jesus was saying? He was saying, look, this coin, it has the picture of Caesar, of the king, you know, today, a president or a leader. He said, and they say that they have the authority to say how much value this has. They have authority over your life because they print the money. But Jesus was saying, it's just money. Just a piece of silver, a piece of gold, copper, whatever. He said, give that to them. That does belong to them, but that's just a piece of coin. Instead, I want you to give to God what belongs to God. So that makes us think, what was Jesus talking about? What does belong to God? Well, if a coin belongs to the government that put its picture and name on it, then what has God put his picture and name on? Well, the answer, friends, is God has put his picture and his name on me and on you and on every man and woman and boy and girl in the world. You see, in the book of Genesis, God tells us that he created humans in his own image. That means we are stamped with a picture of God in our lives. That means that God's image is upon us, and therefore God gets to tell us how valuable we are. And one important thing we need to learn and remember, and I know you guys know this, is that everybody is equally valuable before God. Nobody is more valuable than someone else. You see, sometimes as humans, throughout our history, people have decided that other people weren't as valuable. You know, they were not as valuable as I am. Therefore, I can treat them really badly. I can do bad things to them. I can hurt them. You know, I can take their money. I can make them work for me. And we did that because we thought we were more valuable than other people. And what did we base that on? Well, just because they looked different. Maybe their skin color was different. Maybe they spoke a different language. That there was something about them that was different. And we decided that we were better than these other people. And this kind of thing has happened all over the world. And so I know that most of you think, you know, everyone is equal, right? You have friends and they're just as valuable as you are. But I want you to remember, kids, as you go through life, that everyone you see, no matter how different they look, no matter how strange they sound, no matter where they come from, every single person is valuable because they are created by God and stamped with his image. But we all know that sometimes that image gets a little hidden, doesn't it? It gets dirty. It gets kind of messed up. In fact, have you ever seen a coin that's really dirty and got a lot of junk on it? Let me show you what I'm talking about. Come take a walk with me over here. So I'm over here at our art table in our house. My wife is an art teacher and she set this up for all kinds of art projects that she likes to do and make videos about. But I was talking about how sometimes a coin gets dirty, right? This is a penny and it gets kind of dirty, right? It gets kind of, there's dirt and grease and grime on it. And that's like sin in our lives. You see, what sin does is it covers the image of God in us. It's like a disease, like a mold or a fungus that eats away at us. That's what sin is like. But Jesus came so that we could be clean again, so that we could be forgiven. And when we're forgiven, we can see the image of God in us again. And it reminds us how valuable we are. So one of the ways that you can clean a coin, okay, it's dirty, is you take some vinegar, okay? It's got some distilled vinegar here. I don't know why we have such a big bottle, but we do. And you pour a little bit into a cup, and then you take some salt, and I got some salt here, and you put just a pinch of salt in there, maybe a couple, maybe two, and you stick your penny in there, right? And when you stick it in there, it starts to get clean, right? So here you can see, and you gotta leave it in there for a little while, right? But if you leave it in there long enough, it takes away all of the dirt. In fact, even right now, you can see that it's getting just a little bit shinier, right? And it's because it's working to take away all that grime and dirt and stuff. And that's kind of like God's forgiveness in our lives. Jesus Christ, his love, it cleans us so that we can be restored to the image of God again. So I'll see if I can give you a closer picture of those coins. They're being cleaned. Whoops, spilled a little bit. That's okay. It's just vinegar. It's cleaning us up. So here's an activity I'd like you to do, okay? And all you need is a piece of paper and something to draw with. You can use markers, crayons, paints, whatever you want, okay? So I'm gonna use a marker. And you could use any kind of paper you want. You could use a piece of cardboard. If you want, maybe the top of an old shoebox, and you could actually cut out a coin, but we're gonna draw a coin. So I'm just gonna make a round circle like this, okay? And that's going to be my coin. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put something in there that represents me, because this coin is gonna represent my life. So what could I put in there? Something about me. Well, I like to play basketball, so I could draw a basketball maybe. I also like to read. So I'm gonna draw a book, okay? And I'm just gonna do my best here to draw a picture of a book, okay? And that's my book, and maybe I'll go ahead and draw that basketball, okay? Because I do like playing basketball, you know? And so there's my basketball down there, all right? Then I want you to draw in the same circle on your coin. You're gonna stamp your coin. So we got to think of a symbol for God. What's a good symbol for God in our life? Maybe the cross. That's a good symbol, right? Maybe a heart to show God's love. That's a good symbol, right? Maybe you'll come up with something else. Maybe you think of something, you know, that represents God to you. Maybe something else, okay? So what this coin that you've drawn represents is your life. So the things that you like represent you. And then the heart and the cross that I drew, it represents God, that I am made in God's image, that God has stamped his image upon my life. And therefore, because God has stamped me like a coin, he gets to say how valuable I am. And he says that I am the most valuable thing in the world. So I want you to draw another circle, okay? And this is gonna represent a friend of yours, okay? So think of a friend. So this one is me. And I'm gonna choose my friend Antoine, okay? Antoine's a cool friend. What is Antoine like? Well, Antoine likes to play golf. You ever seen golf? That's where they hit a little white ball around with a big stick, and And so he likes to play golf. So I'm gonna make a little golf club with a ball there, okay? And Antoine is from South Carolina. That's a cool state. And so I'm just gonna write SC for South Carolina, all right? And then that right there represents my friend Antoine, okay? And then I'm gonna put the same symbol. So put the same symbol that you had for God on your coin, and you're gonna put it on your friend's coin. And what this then reminds you is that you and your friend are both stamped in God's image, and you're both valuable to God. And again, right as we close this lesson, friends, please remember, boys and girls, that every single person you will meet throughout the rest of your life is stamped with God's image. They are valuable to God, just as valuable as you are. And I hope that you'll remember, even when you get older, to always treat people the same way. And also remember that whenever we mess up, whenever we sin, whenever we do something wrong, when we feel like dirty and we feel like we can't see God anymore in our life, just like this vinegar, remember that God can forgive you through Jesus Christ, and he can make you clean and brand new again. I love you guys, and I look forward to being able to see you again at church just as soon as possible. God bless you.